Hey, howdy, hi, everybody. Welcome back to my YouTube channel. We are at the end of the day, relaxing, going to clear our head, just take some quiet time out for ourselves. So tonight we are going to be doing this wood grain piece. I use this piece for fences, doors, sometimes for my brooms. This little Zen Doodle comes in handy. It's good to practice because I used to do my lines super tight, bring them up close, but the more variations you have, the more wood-like it looks. So let's get started. So this is a tiny, tiny piece. Remember I told you a couple videos back that working on smaller pieces is sometimes more beneficial when you're working out first-time tangles, just to get what you like versus what you don't like, and not spending a whole lot of time. If you did this on an 8.5 by 11 piece of paper, man, it would look super cool. But A, it would be really time consuming. And B, what if you didn't like it? You spent all that time. So start small and then you can go big. So what you do really is let's give ourselves a border. Because like I said in earlier videos, when you have cut paper like this, when I've just ripped it off and you use your marker on the side, it sometimes will cause some bleeding. So just go ahead and make a little border. I'll make a wavy border on one side so you can see what that's like. Remember, perfection is not really the goal here. Let me see if I can enlarge it a little for you. Okay, so just run your line across the top. And again, see, I put myself a little, it's unnoticeable, but by the time you make 1,000,000 lines, it will be. Take a deep breath. Let all the stress of the day go. Remember to hold your pen lightly. Just take those lines up. Some of these you can, let's make a kind of a, little divvy there. Like I said, these little lessons here in the beginning, we are on building blocks. So while this may seem relatively simple to you, we will be using these in the near future for other projects. So we're just getting down the emptying of the mind, the relaxing of the body, while we do these little doodles. Man, I'm getting way out there, aren't I? That's all right. All right, so I deviated big time, but when I go back, I'll show you what I'm going to do with that. You can make little pockets wherever you want. You don't have to follow exactly along with me. Remember not to bear down too terribly hard on the tip of your pen. Remember not to have your neck locked in any certain way that causes you discomfort. It's easy to let it get away from you. Lots and lots of lines. Isn't it crazy how you can follow that one line? It's kind of like the whole rumor thing, when somebody tells somebody a secret and they whisper in their ear and it goes down one person and another person. And then when it gets finally to the end, the person that repeats what the secret is out loud, it's nowhere near what the secret is. And that's like kind of how these lines are. When we get to the end, it doesn't even resemble what you started out with. So as we get to the end, you can come back at this space. You see how I've been working with little ovals and whatnot. I like to sometimes use these, how knots of the pine just create a little space. But I would take these lines and I wouldn't really join them up so much. Just put little lines like, what am I trying to say? Don't make circles. This is what I didn't like in here. I just felt it was too contrived. So what I'm doing is I'm just putting lines in, but I'm not really connecting them. And that's where you have that. That's what you get. And I might come through here and just redefine this in here, my border, clean that up. Any lines that didn't quite meet, if you make this, define this line a little bit more, you can get those lines to meet up on that edge. And two, if you pick out a certain line in here that you want to define, you can just go in here and just make it a wee bit thicker than all the others. Like so. It just causes a little more interest in the piece. Remember, the devil's in the details, as they say. You just come in here and you pick a couple lines to define out, make a little heavier. See, I'm picking up that pen again. In our last video, I was telling people, don't make swipes and pick up the pen. Just make a nice long, and if you have to pick up the pen, stop and then pick it up. What I have a tendency of doing is going like this, and then you get these lines that are crazy all over the place. And then you got to go in here and clean them up. So there. That is tonight's little bit. So now that you've done your little practice piece, maybe do another couple and just see how your wood pieces differ and change. So this piece, you can see I must have had my finger here holding it. I actually did this at one of John's gigs. I was in the dark, basically, practicing this. But if you have a cut piece of paper, just bring your lines right out to the side. See how they're kind of, when you have frayed edges like this, it gets a little bleed. It bleeds into it. So whereas if you do it with a border, you get this. But isn't that cool? Even if you just don't do real straight squares, you don't have to do, it doesn't have to be perfect. Sometimes it looks almost better if you have imperfections. So Anyways, thank you for joining me. I hope you had a great time, and I look forward to seeing you at the next video. And yeah, have a splendid night. Peace, love, and rocks.